What's up, NFL draft fans? It's your boy Jay Tuck, and like I said, we are gearing up for the NFL draft season. Now, some channels, like I said, they just want to focus on the big names, but the true channels, the people who really love the draft, like to find those diamonds and talk about those players that not a lot of people are talking about. Now, selfishly, this is primarily a Dallas Cowboys channel, so a lot of the hunting I do is for the Dallas Cowboys, but I think that you guys will find value in a lot of these prospects that we're talking about on this interviews. Now, found me another one. This one's a banger, right? Now, Dallas Cowboys for a long, long time, we've been needing some safety help. I went out and found a guy who I think can add some value to the Dallas Cowboys. So, CFO fams, give a warm welcome to my guy, Dillion Williams. What's going on with you, bro?
Yes, sir. How you doing? Appreciate you for having me on today.
Hey man, thanks for taking the time and stopping by and talking to us, man. I know you're extremely busy as you're gearing up for the NFL draft. So, I know, getting 15, 20 minutes in between your busy schedule, what I'm saying? I definitely don't take that lightly, man. How's things going? How's your training going?
Yes, sir. Everything's going good, man. Just training's been going good, trying to stay consistent, man, and just build up and for my pro day, big day coming up and just being
Mhm.
able ready to go at it.
That's good, man. That's good. Now, you have played a lot of football in your career, right? You started off at North Texas, went to UTEP, also at FAU. So you play a lot of good football. But going back to growing up in Texas, man, where did your love for the game of football really come from?
I think it's kind of instilled in you when you growing up in Texas, man. As you know, the saying Texas football is the best. So,
Uh-huh.
just growing up, seeing my older friends play
Mhm.
in high school, everybody in Texas, are you going to the game on Friday? So,
Mhm.
Texas football is really big. So I say, after elementary, it's kind of, middle, once you hit middle school, it's kind of, it's time to go in Texas.
Yeah.
So, it was kind of instilled in me early, like, the love for the game of football.
That's good, man. Yeah, Texas football. People don't understand it unless they see it. Some high school programs are
Mhm.
bigger than college programs. I
Yes,
go.
for sure.
I'm in Dallas. I look at some of these stadiums, like go to Allen. I'm like, man, where? Yeah, this kid's a
Yeah.
spoiler. You know what I'm saying? So Texas is definitely king when it comes to football. Now, you talked about growing up playing football, but you didn't play football. You played baseball. You ran
Mhm.
track. You played some wide receiver. And like I said, bro, this is predominantly a Dallas Cowboys channel. So we got a new defensive coordinator in Christian Parker, who was the DB coach for the Eagles. And when he spoke at the podium, he said the safety position and the nickel position is the most important piece when it comes to our defense. We want guys that are athletic, that can cover, that can come down and hit and tackle, like the first person you would pick in backyard football. So when I saw your film, I said, that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it, man. So talking about your athleticism, playing different sports, how has that helped you translate to your game as far as your football career?
Yes, my dad actually played minor league baseball. So
Okay.
I think I kind of get that from him a little bit. And then just man, just growing up, I just loved being around sports. It didn't matter if it
Mhm.
was baseball, soccer, or I just loved being around sports. So I just think having a ball in my hand and staying busy was just for me as a kid growing
Mhm.
up. So that's where that came from. And then I'll say just the physical side of it. I think that kind of was instilled in me too. My freshman year, my defensive coordinator Phil Bennett. I don't know if you heard of him before, but a
Mhm.
legend. He always say, playing the back end, you can't be passionate. You gotta be
Mhm.
gotta be physical. And
Mhm.
football is a physical game. So I think that was instilled in me early, just being physical in the back end, and then seeing guys older than me play in the back end too, as a young guy
Mhm.
sitting and watching that too.
Yeah, and physicality definitely jumps out in your film, man. You love to tackle, right? You got to have a
Yes.
safety that loves to come downhill and hit, but also can cover as well. But me personally, I'm from the old school. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
like my safeties can come down and tackle. So, I grew up watching, rest in peace to Sean Taylor, like those guys, Troy Polamalu, those were my guys. But what were some guys you kind of come up and you was watching growing up in Texas, watching football that you kind of idolize?
For sure, Tyron Matthews. Everybody would say
Yeah, oh yeah,
that.
Honey Badger. Yeah.
Honey Badger. I'm a big Buda Baker fan too, for
Mhm.
sure. I'm a big Buda fan. Cam Chancellor, as you know, went back
Mhm.
in the Seahawk days. A guy actually from my hometown, Brandon Jones.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Brandon. He actually plays for the Broncos now. He's the
Okay.
safety for the Broncos. So just seeing those guys, I'm a big Ronnie Lott fan.
Yeah,
Some of
okay.
those old,
You know
old
about
school
Roddy Lott,
guys.
man. I was saying that
Old
must be your
school.
dad put you on Roddy Lott.
Some of those old school guys, man,
Uh,
Brian Dawkins, like I just love that, like that they
yeah.
got, man, that just makes you go. So That's who I'll probably say I just watched a lot growing up for sure. Yes, sir.
Love the physicality that you definitely displayed on your film. Now, like you said, you played at North Texas, went to UTEP, transferred to FAU. Now, they had some SEC offers, and Arkansas was very highly about you. But what made you choose FAU up helping you as a senior?
Yeah, I would just say help. What I learned throughout the journey was just really, I think, how to take coaching from different coaches.
Mhm,
A lot of coaches coach, well, mostly all coaches coach different. So learning how to
mhm,
take coaching from different coaches and put it into your game and critique their mind to see how they want you to play it. I would say just taking coach and then just actually learning football. I feel like as I went across my journey with the three schools, I feel like I was actually developing, learning football, like how to actually
mhm,
play football the correct way, the scheme of football.
mhm.
So that's what I was saying. What was the other question you had for me?
Yeah, just about what do you learn to kind of help you, like, and that's a good answer, right? Because a lot of people don't think about it. They think about the transfer portal in a negative light, but they don't
Mhm.
think that it kind of gets you prepared for NFL life. Because in NFL, you can get a new coaching staff. Dallas Cowboys had
Mhm.
3 defensive coaching staffs in 3 years, right?
Yes,
So your
sir.
coaching staff is constantly changing. So when you're getting different coaching philosophies at North Texas and then in UTEP and then also at FAU, it allows you to be able to adapt your game, but also adjust and take some of those nuggets that you learned on the way, man. So that's definitely
And
good.
then I would say just choosing FAU over some of the offers that I had coming out the portal was just trying to get my name out there, playing time, man, just getting on that field for real.
Mhm,
Just knowing what I had to do for my senior year, just making sure I had every opportunity that I could, my senior year. And I felt
mhm,
like Coach Kitley and Coach Dewhurst really they were the guys that put me in that position. And I had
mhm,
a couple guys already out there. So,
mhm.
shout out Coach Dom, that was my guy for sure. That was like he helped me a lot. So it would just played a big role just being able to make sure I felt like being getting out there for my senior year.
That's
For
perfect,
sure.
man. Get that
Yes, sir.
opportunity and get those looks. And I tell people, I just had KC on the show the other day, and I told him I coached against y'all, man. And he was
Uh-huh.
like, "What was it?" Because I play NCAA football. I'm actually really nice at the game. But the team that
Yeah.
I used was UAB. So I was always in American Conference
Oh,
and I was
okay.
playing against y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I was playing
Okay.
against Tulane, playing against FAU. I won 3 national championships, but
Oh,
you had a
okay.
good game
Okay.
versus UAB, and you know what I'm saying, y'all kind of blew them out, right? And I
Yeah.
wasn't coaching that game, man. But yeah, it's like I said, definitely I like the way that you play on the film and translate. You see the versatility, being a rooftop, being also be able to play in the box as well. Now, talk about a little bit when it comes to your preparation throughout the course of the week. You talked about playing under different coaches, but what is your study habits like to get you prepared for ultimately for that game on Saturday, which now in the future will be on Sundays?
Yes, sir. I would probably say just a lot of film study during the week. I would say a lot of film study and a lot of treatment, especially like in the middle of the season, you'll see me in the treatment room a lot, just making sure my body's up to par and ready to go. But
Mhm,
getting ready for game day, I would just say a lot of film study Monday through Friday, really Monday through Thursday, because I'm the type of player I want to know what the offense is gonna do before the ball
mhm,
snap. I want to know
mhm.
if number two receivers cut inside the hash, he's gonna try to get over run over route. I want to know, I want to pick the offensive coordinator brain before he gets to me. So
Mhm.
just a lot of film study, man. I just want to know the play before the head of the play.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
and that's great. Now you mentioned Buda Baker. Now when it comes to Dak Prescott, we think of him as the conductor of the offense. He's one of a very cerebral mind, but a player that gives him a lot of issues is every time we play the Cardinals and Buda Baker, it
Mhm.
just trips Dak Prescott because, like you said, all those little tails, nuances, being able to disguise your fronts, show and drop
Yeah.
and show. Like
And a
it's
lot of
just
people
a
don't
chess game.
understand that's people be like, God, how does Buddha play so fast? Like, how is he reacting so fast? It's like, man, Buddha knows, like Buddha watches film. Like you can
Mhm.
just tell how fast he plays. If you don't even know football, you can just be like, oh, he knows his
Yep.
job. Like that's
Exactly.
how fast he plays. So like being able to play fast, you gotta know what's coming. So that's why I just say heavy film during the week. Yes, sir.
Exactly. A lot of people don't understand the output that you see on Sunday was due to all the inputs you see throughout the course of the week.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Now, when you talk about your game, just you as a safety, just I don't even like to put a label on you because I feel like you're more versatile than just being a safety. I feel like if I need to put you at wide receiver, you know what I'm saying, until you go deep, I probably can get a touchdown off of you. But
Yes, sir.
when you talk about your game specifically, what would you say is the strongest aspect of your game as a football player?
I would say I'm a full around safety. I know we just talked about a lot about physicality, but I feel like I can cover. I can play in the post if you need me to. I can play in the slot if you need me to. I can line up outside if you need me to. So I really feel like I'm an all around safety, but I feel like my strong suit is definitely as we talked about me being able to be physical in the box. I could be able to
Mhm,
roll down in that cover three and play in the box.
mhm,
I could be able to line up as a linebacker and play for it down in the box.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? So just being
mhm.
able to, I would say I'm not scared to get my nose dirty, as the coach
Exactly.
would say. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the
Uh-huh.
guy in there that's playing in the slot, is doing all the dirty work with the lineman. I'll do that for
Mhm.
sure. Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a mentality because not a lot of players have it, especially when it comes to the DB position. Some people don't want to get dirty. Some people don't want to tackle, but watching your film, like I said, you're not afraid to help and run support, special teams, whatever you need to be. And those are the types of players that I like. The one thing that always jumps off of me when I watch a player is, do I see a football player and do I see motor? And that's the number
Mhm.
one thing that when I saw some of your tape, it was just nonstop.
Could get, opening and running with the receiver. I could be a little stiff, open up and running with a receiver sometimes. So just really making sure my footwork is there and I'm just in and out my break smooth and crisp, I would say.
Mhm.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just clean up work. And that's a lot of people don't understand. Even the number one prospect, that's probably gonna be Mendoza, right? Has
Mhm.
cleanup work to do. There's always areas to improve. So as long as you keep that mindset, man, you're going to go far. Now, speaking about your journey as you're gearing up for this pro day,
Mhm.
a lot of people, like I said, I had Casey on. He says he's gonna run about a 4.3. Last year I had my dog Kendall Paul on. He clipped around a 4.2.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm the good luck charm, man, but what are you kind of expecting as far as your 40 time, and what are you working on, and that's really going to try to blow these scouts away when they get to see eyes on you up close and personal?
I'm going full four lure, man. Full
Okay.
four lure. I have to. I know the guys at the combine set the bar high,
Yeah,
man.
I mean
Hey,
that's like,
man.
I'm saying, that's like middle linebacker speed right now.
Like,
That's like you see
golly,
wide receivers running 4 or 5, and I see people saying, "Oh, they slow." I was like, "Well,
man.
man."
The guy at the combine set the bar high, but nah, man. I'm shooting for 4.4. Nothing below a 4.5 for sure. But I mean, anything below a 4.5 for sure. But
Yeah.
4.4 is where I'm going. But the guys at the combine for sure. Shout out to them. They set the bar high for
Oh
guys.
yeah, yeah. I
For us
mean,
for sure.
everybody. But a lot of people are now putting the emphasis on the 40. Me personally,
Yeah.
I don't put a lot of emphasis on it because I want to see if you're a football player. Because if you
Mhm.
look at historically, all the guys who kind of broke them records, it ain't translated on Sunday. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? City Lamb running 4.5. Like
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton, they marked him for his 40. Are you a football player? But sometimes that's what you need to get the eyes on you. And then once they see the football player that you are,
Mhm.
that's when the excitement really kicks
It
off.
was kind of
Now,
like a scout told me it was like when you go to the dealership, when you get the new Ferrari, you want to take it to test drive. You want to test drive it and see how it drives first. So
yeah.
that's basically what the Pro Day and Combine did. That's what I kind of keep in my
Mhm.
mind. Is like it's just all a test and see what you can do. So don't think too much of it, but it's for sure nerve wracking for sure. I would say for
Yeah.
sure a little bit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, yeah. But it's a game that you guys have played your entire life. Enjoy it,
Yeah.
embrace it. Because a lot of kids don't even get this opportunity to get scouts to even come to
Yep.
their pro day. So I
Yes,
tell
sir.
kids all the time, I know it's nerve-wracking. And we had some prospects last year who had their pro day, went undrafted, and then a
Mhm.
few months later, I was interviewing them at the Super Bowl, right? So you
Yeah.
never know how things can turn out. Just enjoy it.
Yes,
But I
sir.
know the pressures are mounting when you get those eyes on you, those stopwatches on you.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit different. But you talked about some of the scouts, but if you had the opportunity, Dylan, to sit down in front of an NFL organization and explain to him who is Dillion Williams, the player, but most importantly to me, the man, what would your response be?
You're gonna get a guy that's gonna come to work every day for sure, 100%. A hardworking guy that's just gonna put his head down and work. I haven't been given nothing my whole life, so it just means more to me. I feel like for this opportunity, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So a guy
Mhm,
that's gonna come in and just work his tail off every day, like every day,
mhm.
nonstop.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yes,
and that's
sir.
all you need, right? Hard work can get you a far, far. Talent can get you where. But I live by the motto: talent is overrated, right? Because we've seen tons of athletes who have the talent, but they didn't have the work ethic or the mindset, and they got leaped by players. I was watching something the other day where Mel Kiper was hating on Bobby Wagner when Bobby
Mhm.
Wagner was drafted, right? But Bobby Wagner was a guy who went out there and put in the work day after day, and now he's an NFL great. So that's great to hear, man, about the work ethic. Now, talk about this.
Mhm.
you mentioned about your skill set and everything that you bring from that standpoint, right? But if you wanted to, I don't know, prepare for a player, like I said, we're a Cowboys channel, so I gave KC George Pickens. So
Mhm,
I'm gonna put you up top. So you're probably gonna cover like Jake Ferguson. All right.
mhm.
What would be some things that you would probably notice when you watch someone like Jake Ferguson, who's a phenomenal tight end in his game skill set, that if you had to match up on that caliber of tight end that would prepare you for Sunday?
He's very physical. I seen him. He's the type of guy that you have to make sure he's the type of guy that you always have to like keep your eyes on to make sure like if we in man, he might chip block and like release or like chip block, he might block and stay in. But like I would say just making sure like I don't know, like man, I really honestly don't know. Like cause like it's just so much you could do. Really just making sure you
Yeah.
know like what he does to a T. Cause I mean the guys now the route running is like you're facing a
Wide
receiver,
receivers.
basically guarding a
Right.
tight end now. So like really just playing it slow with your eye, just making sure he's committed on blocking or if it's a chip block, chip release, or anything just like that. Really.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't understand when you're covering slots and also tight ends, their route tree is so complex. So they can do a lot of
Yes.
different things. They can chip and release like that. So it's you got to be on all go. And Jake Ferguson is one of those ones. He studies Travis Kelsey. I'm actually in Kansas City, so I'm here with the GOAT, right? But he
Okay.
just knows how to get open in
Yeah.
space, right? And those are
That's
some of
why I
the
would
things
say
you have
just
to
having your
prepare.
eyes in the right spot. Not trying to look at too much. Just look at the quarterback, then the tight end. Just having your eyes in the right spot with guys like
Yeah.
that.
One little stick and nod, and he's wide open.
Man,
So
touchdown. Now it's going for 6.
exactly, a little certified chain mover. Now,
Yes,
I'm gonna ask
sir.
you this question before I let you go. If you get your name called on draft day, what would that mean for you? And then alternatively, if you don't hear your name called on draft day, what would that mean for you?
If I don't get my name drafted, called on draft day, still put my head down and work, man. You know, it's still a lot of opportunity out there for me. I would feel like, but I'll still stay down and just work, bro. I know like it's not what I want, but just staying down and consistently just working every day in and day out. Like
Mhm,
I've been, I think the big word for me this whole process has been consistency. Just staying
mhm,
consistent, getting 1% better every day, not trying to look too forward to draft day or to pro day, just being
mhm,
1% better each day. But if I get my
mhm.
name drafted, get called, man, hey, that's everything. That's my childhood dream, you know? So like
Yeah,
it's gonna mean everything to me and my family if I hear my name called on draft night for sure,
yeah.
man. For sure.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And I tell so many of the players that come on here, like, of course, we all want to hear your name drafted, but for the Dallas Cowboys specifically, the
Hmm.
UDFAs, that's where the opportunity. So our UDFAs, they play.
Hmm.
We have so many: Elijah Clark, Marquise Bell, Wang A. Tom. List goes on and on. So it depends on what team you go to. It might even be a better situation if you got your name called. So
Yeah.
the one thing I want you to understand: your journey is not over, right? Whether you
Yes,
get your
sir.
name called or it doesn't get called, it's just the starting point. There's tons of work to do for your journey. Now, I'm gonna ask you this question because you mentioned Buda Baker, you mentioned some players. You have one player on NFL Sunday after you've been drafted by the Dallas Cowboys to jersey
Uh-huh.
swap with. Who's gonna be that player and why? Only pick
Man,
one. Only pick one.
I don't man, I'll probably have to go. Honestly, I'm gonna go with my young bull, man. I'm gonna go up the stout, man.
Okay.
My dog, it's a nickel out of he played for the San Francisco 49ers, man, out
Uh-huh.
of Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
Uh, It's just we played together at North Texas actually, so that's
Okay.
why I say that, dog.
Okay.
Just seeing how hard we work together, just that
Mhm.
jersey swap, I feel like it'd be legendary. I know I could have said legends and all that. I know that'll come, but
Yeah.
that one for sure. You know, when you do
No.
it with your brothers, it just feels different. You know,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that would definitely probably be my
Now
first
you're
one for
both
sure.
there. Now you mentioned Upton Stout. You actually remind me of a prospect who plays for the 49ers who I actually love come out the draft in Jair Brown, Tig Brown, who out of
Uh
Penn
huh.
State. So you kind of have that same mold, kind of have that same fit, man. And he was a guy who I saw coming up out of Penn State, like, hey, watch him. And then he ultimately got his opportunity for San Francisco. Now he's their starting safety, man. So I'm wishing you the best of luck, man. Go out there and do your thing. We're all rooting for you. Unless you go to the Eagles, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna just delete this video, act like we ain't never heard from you, never see you before. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna
uh,
hide the video unless you go to the Eagles, man. But no, for real, man, we appreciate you for coming on, talking to us. For the people who want to find out more about you and hear more from you, where can they follow you?
you can find me at Instagram _.dwill and Twitter at dwill 0.
Yeah, perfect. Give my guy a follow, man, and best of luck for your pro day. We're gonna be watching close, man. But yo, CFO gang, that's it, man. That's my guy, Dillion Williams. Phenomenal safety. Like I said, we be getting in our bag, and we got some more prospecting interviews coming up. So if you love draft content, you love sleepers, you love diamonds in the rough, people like, you know what I'm saying? We talking about people. That's what we do here,
Yes,
right? We're a
sir.
little bit different, right? Subscribe to the channel and follow us because we got a bunch more coming up, man. For everyone, we want y'all to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and draft season is here. Peace.
Yes, sir.